Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Juju's Journey. Today is December 14th, 2025. It is almost 8:58 p.m. on Sunday night. So I got up this morning. I think I sent that little video out. I had this whole plan of how I was going to do the videos, and I didn't do something quite right, so I kind of got off. But, I'm making my 7 focus points to focus on next year, which I'll probably focus on these hopefully forever. But in these focal points, I'm going to try to pinpoint things that are the most important, most pertinent right now so I can be successful. And so I did make out a list. Self is going to be a focal point. Business, because I want to, earn enough money to hopefully fund a small vacation. Finances, that's including my budget. That means saving, because I am on a very tight budget. That means putting money in the right buckets and keeping my focus, like making sure I do transfer money in savings to the Ally checking account to earn the most interest, because it's a high yield savings account. And just with the little bit of money that have in there right now is probably the most interest I've ever earned on my local bank or bank interest rate. I've never carried enough money in my savings account to earn much interest, but I've used to have a lot more money in my savings account than I have now, and I've never made $10 a month on interest. So I do recommend the Ally savings account. I need to focus on my home, not only trying to get things fixed up. I mean, there was a lot neglected in the past year after losing my husband. I mean, things that I could have done. Like, I did not do anything to keep up with my yard. I need to get out and start at least doing some curb appeal in the front yard. That needs to be my first focus, but it won't be tomorrow, that's for sure, because it is cold, and plus I'm not there yet. Adventure, I'm going to focus on adventure. And adventure to me is not that extravagant. Adventure to me is making experiences, having experiences with the people that I love and care about. I want to focus more on my family. And when I say that, I see my family all the time. But I want to do things with more joy and laughter. I want us to be very intentional on, we do tend to get together a good amount, with birthday parties and things like that. I mean, when you have so many children. But I want us to get together when it's just, I want us to get together when it's just fun. Like maybe have a game night. Like we had so much fun going to the mall and going shopping for that little girl. So it'd be fun, like, to say, okay, everybody, let's go to a different town and eat lunch and all hang out together. I don't know. Just little focus on small family day trips, whether it's going to a different park in another town and letting the kids just run and play, and then the older siblings get to have fun too. I don't know. That's what I'm going to focus on. And then my friends. Kind of whenever you go through something like losing your spouse, you have people that check in on you all the time. And then you just kind of answer them back. And I'm talking about friends that you could go out and eat lunch with, and you know, maybe you were closer when your kids were the same age. Friends that when you see each other, you're excited about seeing them, but they're not the same friends that your ride or die friends. You know, you only have a few ride or dies, but they're still really good friends. And you love them and they love you. But when you quit, when they've checked on you for a whole year, and then your response back is thanks, thank you, and you're not asking how their family's doing, it's almost like you're self-absorbed. Now I've got to start reaching out to my friends and making sure I'm there for them, because, you know, they could be going through something that I'm unaware of, strictly because they wouldn't want me to know anyway, because they would probably think that they wouldn't want to put that burden on me. My necklaces have gotten tangled up, y'all. I'm sorry. My husband, this is my wedding band. Now look, I'm completely tangled. Okay, my wedding band has not been on my ring finger since I was pregnant with my last child. And I never did get it back on even after I had her. I mean, during my pregnancy, I think I had to take it off. And then working at a preschool, I just gradually gained the magic 10 pounds a year. And I worked there for, what, 17 years? If that tells you anything. Oh, Angela. But anyway, that was funny to me. Okay, my ring. So then when my husband died, I got it out of my jewelry box and I started wearing it on my pinky. And as you can see, it just slides right on and off. And I lost it 3 times in my house, thank God. And so the last time I lost it, I said, it's not going back on my pinky. It's going to go on this necklace. And then the day that I said I needed a sign, the day that I did get a sign, but the first thing that happened that morning is whenever I went to go get, I can't sleep in this because this would hurt. But as I was getting this necklace out of my jewelry box, for some reason, it got caught, and this cross went flying across my room. And of course, I figured out where it was. It took me a minute. And I said, you know what? God wants me to wear that cross with my ring. And I put it on that day. And so now I'm going to wear my ring and my cross together. And then if God throws something else on the floor, it makes it fly across the room, then I'll put that on the necklace too. But anyway, sorry, my necklace, I've got ADD, so things like that distract me. Okay, so friends, I'm going to reach out so they know that I'm okay, and now we're back to normal, you know? Like, yeah, you can call me. Maybe we can start being normal again. You know? So, with those being my focus, I'm trying to get geared up to 2026. So, there's going to be I have to organize this office. I think I showed it to you the other day. I'm not too happy about this. Don't look at all my mess, because I'm telling you, it's just in disarray. When I got my printer, I just don't like the setup. It's just too much. And I don't like how, since this got here, it upset my whole how I do things. So I bought a new little table that will go underneath the vanity where normally my stool would be, right? And the printer's going to fit on top of it, and it has a little filing drawer. And then I'll keep this little table, but it'll smooth out this whole area and let me be more focused on what I've got going on, because I want different things in different areas so I can get to them and it all makes sense and it flows. And if you have ADD, you know that you can get you can let things get out of hand very easy. But once you get it back together, you want it like that because you work better with it like that. So you'll do everything in your power to keep it that way. But when it starts going haywire, you can't focus enough to get it back. So there are a lot of things I want to get in place, meaning this little office area, so I can stay on track and stay focused, because it's very hard when you have ADD. Trust me, I know. I mean, honestly, if you don't make notes, I'm thinking about getting those little bands people are wearing. It's like, what would Jesus do? Remember those little bands? But they're made like that, but they're all different colors. And each color symbolizes something that you're supposed to do that day. And I'm talking about something you do every single day. And so every time you do it, you take that bracelet off. You're not going to go anywhere until all your bracelets are off. But it could be make your bed, drink your coffee. I mean, honestly, if you leave your room and don't make your bed, you can say, okay, I need to run back in there and make my bed. But then you're going to say, well, gosh, I was really supposed to sweep and mop, but if I go make up the bed now, then I might not sweep and mop in a little bit. But no, I can go ahead. I mean, you just play and talk so many things in your head. It's just crazy. But anyway, so I have to make a lot of lists to get through my days. So I like to plan, and that doesn't mean I'll complete everything. But I think I've got a good mindset. I've got my calendar where I can just look to the right and see all my days. I don't have to flip through my, my calendar book. I have this cute little book, and this really helps if I keep up with them. I have several of these, but it's a daily planner. And so I write down everything I need to do that's important. And then at night, I go ahead and transfer it for the next day. And then if anything comes up, I'll add to it. But I try to do the most important stuff, like what's the most important for tomorrow. So that works for me. And I don't know why I'm saying so many times. But so tomorrow I've got on my list so far, budget for sinking funds. Because now I know what my fixed income is, and I know basically what my sinking funds are. My sinking funds would be my house insurance. I'm not talking about for this year. It would be for 2027, because I already have the money to pay my house insurance won't be due until February. But it's going to be house insurance, and I pay for the whole year because I can save like $600. Car insurance, I pay for the whole year. I'm going to have to save up for car taxes and house taxes. And I know I get my taxes filed at H&R Block, and last year I think they were like $400. I consider that a sinking fund. And so I need to do taxes, tax prep. And then I'll go ahead and do total up how much it's going to be for my kids' birthdays and Christmas. And I'm going to start doing something. Y'all are going to think I'm a horrible person. You know, I worked at the church and I volunteered a lot of time. Not that it matters, but I mean, I was there Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, Vacation Bible School. I worked there Monday through Friday. And when I would give, like, I would buy a lot of stuff out of my own pocket, but I wasn't putting too much offering in the offering plate, you know? I just didn't, because we didn't have extra money, although that's no excuse. I mean, we were raising 5 children, but, we would give, but not like the 10% that we should have given, you know? And so I started thinking how God has blessed me, and my husband worked so hard, and God kept me up last year. I'm not in a church right now, but I have a $3,000 fixed income. So I'm going to start pulling the $300, 10% of that, and I'm going to make a new envelope. I know part of it's going to go for the little kids that we're going to adopt again next year. But like, there's this woman that lives in my hometown, and her daughter died very young. Her daughter was in her 20s, and she had a severely handicapped son who is now, I think, like 11. And like, he's, you know, wearing diapers. He can't eat. I think he's on a G-tube. He's nonverbal. I don't even think he can sit up by himself. But the grandmother's wonderful, and she's so good with this child. And he's so big now, because can you imagine, he's 10, and she doesn't have a handicapped vehicle. So she's trying to raise money. Someone's going to give her a good deal on one, because their wife, who was handicapped, passed away. And so they just want to break even. They're not trying to make a profit. And she's trying to raise money. And so I don't know. I've got to look to see how much money she's already raised, because she probably has already raised it, because it was $20,000. People were going to try to do spaghetti bakes and do all of this stuff, but I'm sure if the right person in our community hears about it, they'll take care of it. But if I do, I haven't looked today to see how that's going. She only posted 2 days ago, and she never asked for anything. But if she hasn't, if that hasn't been taken care of, then I'll definitely probably give her a little bit of money. Not $50 to $100 is what I'll give as of right now, because I do have to pay a lot of bills, and I just did a lot. But no, if I do $300 a month next year, pull a little bit, like in one envelope, have that for a situation kind of like this. I don't want to put it all in one fund. Like, I know one's going to be to adopt children for Christmas. I might give the fire department some money, because just for kids at Christmas too, because they said they adopt 100 families and go shopping, and they have a good time. So that might be something good to do as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna pray about it and get God to help me decide where I need to focus my tithing to Him. And if I find a church home, then I'll start tithing to them as well. But I don't want to put all of my I don't want to put everything in one bucket, because I think there's a lot of need out in the world, and I want to try to do my best to help. We have a Facebook page, I think it's called The Girls Room, and there are single mamas all the time trying to get away from their abusive spouses. So there may be a need for me to, I don't know, some people just need a meal until payday. So there's just things I want to do that's more purposeful. So this morning when I prayed and I'd made my list and kind of had my bullet points on where I wanted to go, I asked Him to guide me. So I'm going to keep praying on that. So I'm going to budget for giving tomorrow. And what that means is try to come up with at least, I'm going to figure out how much, if I put $5 a week towards Christmas gift for someone, if I adopt next year, how much that would be. Just doing some math, just to get me ahead of the ball game on my sinking funds, to make sure that when the date comes, then they'll be completely fully funded. See, last year I didn't have an extra money to put in, and some of my sinking funds were not completely funded. And I was just praying that by February, like, my house insurance would be completely funded. So without me having to go into that little, where I was a month ahead, I didn't want to touch that money. Okay, so I've got to make plans for the beach. That might be, all I have to do is make a phone call and get her to come up with it. We're going to go to the beach in January, so I want to make plans. I want to put it on my calendar. I did do my bathrooms, but not the one upstairs. I want to mop tomorrow. I've got to mop. Like I said, it's been a month. I didn't mop today. Every day I've been saying I'm going to mop. I've got to put that furniture together. I've got to organize the office. I've got to list one thing on eBay. I'm going to start doing just one item a day. Actually, I just saw this cute little bowl. See it? Isn't that pretty? And I bet you can't see the real, it's like a periwinkle blue. It doesn't show. I'm so excited. I was hoping somebody would buy it because it is such a cute little bowl. And then whenever I bought this bowl, I bought it from an estate sale. I also got all these little brooches. They're in my eBay store too. Look how pretty. I'm not a brooch wearer, but I love brooches. They're so pretty. Look at that one. This one's pretty too. That would be, oh, actually is a scarf clip, I think. But that would be cute as a Valentine's gift. Those are earrings. I love this one. Look at that one. This is what I mean by ADD. It's like squirrel. That's so pretty. Look at this apple for a teacher. Isn't that pretty? Oh, and this one's for breast cancer. It's got pink in it. And then all of these clip-on earrings, they're vintage too. Vintage clip-on earrings. Anyway, I do have to ship this, so that's where I got on that. That's sold. So I've got to ship eBay, which is good. And I've got to list eBay. Just one item. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to try to shower by 9. And I'm going to try to stay focused. So I have my top priorities are devotion, exercise, and budget. So if I accomplish those 3 things tomorrow, then I will be doing pretty good. Oh, I've got to pay my taxes on my house. Pay house taxes. And deposit money. Okay, so let's see how much money I've got to deposit. I cleaned out my binders. And this was going to be my house. This was some of the money. You know, I had placeholders too. But this was the cash before it got to a placeholder point. And this was for my house taxes, car taxes, and car insurance and house insurance. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll just let you know in tomorrow's video. Y'all don't want to watch me count. Because I also have all these ones. These are nothing but $1 bills. And I don't need them because I'm not going to do ones except for leftover ones. When it gets to 50, I'll deposit. But I'm not stuffing my binders with $1 bills this year if I can help it. I've got to budget my house because I'm going to have extra to stuff because of my house payment. So, that's where I'm going with that anyway. I can't think of anything else. I do know that I've been waking up every morning and saying, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it. And I don't know, guys. I mean, I was honestly down in the dumps. I had anger. I didn't want to get out of my house. I was binge eating. I was negative. And I can't think of the 5th one off the top of my head. But I'm not angry anymore. Although I wasn't angry at him. But I was angry at situations. And then, I started doing devotion again. And I know y'all can probably tell because it was just, a week ago? And I did not get that way until I stopped doing devotion. I did devotion every day. I started about a week after my husband died because, I was still in shock. But I started like the week after he died and did devotion every single day for around 1 to 1.5 hours. Sometimes at night I would just focus on the Bible and it got me through. And then when I went to that wedding early November, I didn't take my devotion stuff with me. I said, I'm not going to have time to do that there. And then when I came back, I just got out of the habit. I quit. I didn't do it for a month. And then I started getting depressed and angry and upset. And I was just, I didn't feel like I had no energy. That's what the other one was. No energy, no desire to clean, could care less. Not motivated to do anything. And I know it's hard with Christmas and Thanksgiving was the last verse for us. But when I picked up that devotion and picked up the Bible again, I just, everything just started changing. So that's all I can only give credit to God. But I feel at peace. I feel as though I'm going to be okay. I feel like I do have a future. Um, until, the Lord decides it's my turn to go. I just found out on Facebook probably 10 minutes before I came upstairs that a person that I used to work with her, she taught 5K at the preschool I worked in for a couple of years, and her child took dance with my youngest child. And we became friends through that before she started working at my preschool. And she was in the hospital like 2 weeks ago. She's a lot younger than I am. Like the one that was doing dance was her oldest. She was a young mom. And then I was in my 30s whenever I had my last child. And she was in her 20s. So she's probably, if I'm 58, she was probably approaching 50. Maybe 48, I don't know. But anyways, they were saying pray for her, something about her lungs. She had gotten sick, and the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. They said it wasn't a bacterial infection. They just really did not know what was going on. And so I know they put her in they sedated her enough to put her in, where she wouldn't wake up. And they had her fully ventilated, and they were doing it where they turn you and keep turning you in the bed. The whole bed turns with you. And I guess trying to get her lungs to heal. And I just found out she died today. She didn't make it. I don't know what was wrong with her. She didn't have cancer or anything like that. But I know what that poor family's going through because we went through the same exact thing, just almost exactly a year ago. And not that timing matters. I mean, it doesn't matter. When you die, you die. You're going to hurt no matter what. But it's really hard to lose somebody over the holidays. And I think it's because everybody's walking around and they're so happy, and everything you turn on, you're seeing ads for Christmas gifts, and I don't know. And then if you drive down the street, everybody's got their little shopping bags, and they're so happy, and you're like, your whole world is just crashing down beside you, and you're wondering why these people are happy. But they really should be happy if their heart's in the right place, because I don't have to worry about my husband. He was a Christian, and he asked Jesus to come into his heart, and it only takes, anyway, Jesus was born on Christmas, and he was born to die for our sins so we could have everlasting life. So I've got to keep telling myself that my husband didn't die. He's got everlasting life. I just have to live here and miss him while he's up there having the best time of his life in the best place he could possibly be. So I'm going to move forward on him, not him, on my life, because like I said, you only have one life to live, and I can't live in the low part. And I'm usually a happy-go-lucky person, so we're going to do it. But I can't wait. Oh, I've got to study too. When am I going to have time to do this if I'm already yawning? It's 9:30. Now I've got to study because I've got to learn how to do my computer. Once I get things streamlined, I would love to make a spreadsheet, And I know I can do all that because my little computer, I keep thinking my computer's over there, but it's downstairs. I have the Copilot. He really freaks me out, but I might have to be really asking my Copilot for lots of help. He's like, "Hello, Angela. How are you doing today?" And then I'll try to talk and explain something to him. And he starts talking whenever whenever I'm talking. It's funny. I don't know what his name is. I have to see. I don't think he has a name. I think he's just my co-pilot. Anyway. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm going to go get in the bed. I'm going to exercise on my treadmill tomorrow. Do you believe me? One more thing before I go. I live in South Carolina. I don't even know what the temp is because it's on my phone. I don't know what it was today. It has been chillier the last couple of days, but I think we probably got, and this is a cold day. Our high today was probably 65 and the temperatures just keep going down. It's going to get to 20, I think it was 22 to 24 degrees tonight is going to be our low. And then tomorrow night is supposed to get down to 17 degrees. We don't do that. Like, we do not do that. Like, on Christmas, it could be like 70 degrees. You know, that's not uncommon. So, I did go to Walmart and get lunch for the week so I wouldn't have to get out tomorrow, and also to save money, to take the temptation from doing takeout, because I'm trying to save money. But I didn't save money because I went to Walmart. And it was not packed. I had to talk myself into going because I do not like going shopping at Walmart. But I had to get kitty litter. I would have gone to a grocery store had I not needed kitty litter. And I said, I really do need to get a new kitty box because I haven't changed the rubber thing. And, well, I know it's been a year because, of course I've changed my kitty litter. But, nobody was there. There were people, but I was not stressed. It was not crowded at all, and you would think it would be so packed. I don't know if it's because it was getting cold, or people just don't have money, or they're ordering everything online. But it was not packed at all. And I ended up, my daughter and I bought these cute Reebok sweatsuits there. Like this sweatsuit, y'all. We bought sweatsuits there a couple of weeks ago. They were Reeboks. They were thick. They were good. They were soft. And so I said, you know what? I need to get me some more warm-up suits. I said, it's going to be cold this week. So I did. I got 2 more warm-up suits, and I got a pair of pajamas. And then I also got some long-sleeve shirts. I'm really not like one of these people that go out and wear Christmas stuff. But I do get some. I get a t-shirt like every year because usually we try to do something. We try to look really tacky on Christmas. So it's not like an ugly Christmas sweater, whatever. But I went to my son's house today to see my grandson. He lives out in the country. And so I put this shirt so soft. And since I got sick, I only like soft things on my skin. And this is like one of those really, I think you know what I'm talking about, that really soft material. But for Thanksgiving, we all ordered velour. Let me see if I can get up. It's going to look really gross because I don't think I have my pants right. I don't know if you can see. We got velour windsuit, or not windsuits, track suits. And all the girls wore these, even my granddaughter, and then the grandsons had theirs, they're little. And then my son-in-laws, my son and his wife and his son, they didn't participate. But the rest of us did. My future son-in-law and my son-in-law, they wore theirs. They had the white pinstripe down the side of theirs. And my son-in-law ordered this big gold fake chain and wore it around his neck. It was fun. And so I actually wore this today. I even wore it to Walmart. I think it's coming back in style. But it feels so good. But it is. It's not even a pretty. I ordered it off of Amazon. It's really shiny. Like it's got a good shine to it. So it looks... It doesn't look that great. But I did wear it. And I'm going to wear another warm-up suit tomorrow too. And I'm going to be proud. Very proud. Anyway, I'm going to post this video. You should see it on Monday. The 6th. No. Today's the 14th. So you should see this video December 15th on a Monday. Because it's Sunday night. And then I'll report back to let you know how much money that I'm going to deposit. And we might count it. And I'll show you the progress. I really wish I could figure out how to use my computer. I don't know. And I have a camera that I bought. I wish I could just do that camera because I can flip it around. I've got to do some studying. All right, this video is getting too long. I'm talking too much. Bye.